Hello, hello, hello. Some juicy information. So we spoke about Canada when I came and all that. You know, how was it like and every other thing. Yeah, so first year of being in Canada. I'm still talking about the first year because I think I learned everything about the first year. So are you a pharmacist and you're wanting to relocate to Canada? What are your options? Firstly, I want to make a disclaimer. I'm not an immigration consultant, but I know one thing or two, for pharmacists, obviously, right? So if you are a pharmacist and you're wanting to relocate to Canada, here are your options. Okay. And I also want to say something. It's not very easy to get a job whilst you are still in your home country, unless if you are an IT consultant, all those geniuses, that software engineer or whatever the case may be. So I'm speaking for pharmacists because that's my line. So it's not easy to get a job like that. So when I came here, so I did a pharmacy degree in South Africa, like a basic pharmacy degree, went through internship. There was no community service then. So you would just do your internship, then you are a pharmacist. So I practiced as a pharmacist, but when I left South Africa, I was no longer a practicing pharmacist. I was a manager at a second largest hospital in South Africa, pharmacy manager, yeah. So I looked at my life and I said, okay, if I relocate, dispensing will be not a big problem. I do not want to dispense because I spent a long time, policy, doing policy development, dealing with pharmacy council, doing all those administrative duties, strategic planning and all that. So managerial issues, if I can say it like that. So already I had advanced a lot for me to be telling myself that I want to do to dispense. Yeah, but I've done it all. I've been in academic. I have taught pharmacy students, I think, for 7 years. I've been in hospital pharmacy. I've been a hospital pharmacy manager in rural areas, in urban areas, you name it. I have, worked in retail pharmacy, which is community pharmacy, if you want to, and here in Canada, I think Shoppers Drug Mart and all those, I've worked there. I've worked with a lot of things. So I know quite a bit. I've worked also with Pharmacy Council. I'm actually a registered assessor. We used to assess for pharmacy assistant training. By the way, I used to be a trainer for pharmacist assistants, and I also trained doctors and nurses, for their dispensing licenses. I used to work with one company. So I know a lot about pharmacy in South Africa. So when I now wanted to relocate, the thing was, what am I going to do? So before I left, I enrolled in Stellenbosch University, and that is where I worked in Tygerberg Hospital. So Stellenbosch was the next best thing. Thank God for the Western Cape Department of Health. They paid for my fee. So South Africa is very good. So South Africa is very good. So they paid for my Bachelor of Pharmacy degree. They paid for my postgraduate diploma in medicines development. So I never paid for my fees. They paid for who I am. I owe them. Yeah, I'll see how to sort it out. Yeah. So I've always wanted to come to Canada. So I chose a program, Regulatory Affairs, in Algonquin College, Regulatory Affairs Sciences in Algonquin College. Algonquin College is in Ottawa. It is in Ottawa in Canada. And when I enrolled for Regulatory Affairs Sciences, I thought, okay, it's maybe going to be regulation of drugs only. I discovered that it's regulations of drugs, it's regulations of chemicals, medical devices, and pesticides. So and agricultural products. So they are all of them are regulated by Health Canada. So yeah, I went through the program. It was a 9-month program. I was on the Dean's Honors Roll for the first term and the second term, A+ students. I used to tease my children, so I would send them my results, time and again, and I'll tell them no pressure. So yeah, even you, I'm telling you no pressure. I'm just one person that likes to pass, like really, really pass. Like if I'm passing, let me pass. I'm just that excellent person. So anyway, I did regulatory affairs sciences. And immediately after I finished, I got co-op, like internship in Scarborough. So I had to relocate from Ottawa to Scarborough. But I couldn't get a good place in Scarborough, so we stayed in Markham, Ontario. So first of all, let me say we stayed in Ottawa, in Ontario. And Ottawa is the capital city of Canada. No. Yes, it's the federal capital. Oh, and the capital city. Federal capital. It's where all the, big people like Justin Trudeau stay. So yeah, so that is where I went to school in Ottawa. So I had to move. So the job was in Scarborough, so I moved to Markham. So after moving to Markham, remember I told you the bed bug story, all this apartment that was not even up to anything. So when I now moved to Markham, oh my God, I think I'll attach some pictures in this video for Markham, or I'll just attach it differently. Yeah, it was an awesome, awesome place. Oh my goodness. It is awesome. It's beautiful. We got a beautiful apartment, no bed bugs, no mosquito. Can you believe it? After a year of bed bug and mosquito. Anyway, so I'm done with regulatory affairs and now I'm doing my co-op. So I did my co-op in one company. It was a pesticide company. But because it's chemicals, it's easy for a pharmacist to adjust because chemistry is our thing, you know. You know how we roll, chemistry people. So yeah, I worked with them. I was the regulatory affairs scientist for them. There was no regulatory affairs office when I first, started. So I had to set it up, for that company. So when I arrived, I set it up. I did a lot of things. I organized. Most of the things were paper. So I had to organize files, just scan them into SharePoint. Those who use, technology, they will know what I'm talking about. Maybe one day I'll talk about, oh, I'm trying to set up my glasses. Yeah, so those who perhaps know about SharePoint and all that, will understand, but I will talk about how to set up a regulatory affairs office, especially here in Canada. So I set it up. I moved from everything being paper to scan everything and organize it into folders. And the numbering system was very good. The lady who was in charge, like the owner of the startup, she was very good. She was a chemist also, but because she was now, the owner of the business, her and the husband, it was not easy for them to do certain things. And the regulations have just changed. Everything needed to be regulated. I was the submissions person, everything. I had to do everything by myself just to set it up, make sure that there are working documents, there are standard operating procedures and everything. And I worked with them for 8 months. And even today, I still regret resigning from that job. But I believe that God had better things for me because apart from every other thing, I had peace of mind working for them. So that is the thing. So do you want to relocate to Canada? There are several options for you. So you can write the exam whilst you're still in South Africa, which I will not advise because it might be difficult, because the burden of disease in South Africa is not the same as the burden of diseases in Canada. So it might not even make sense for you to write exam from there. But if you are young, less than 30 years old, or maybe let me say less than 40 years, yeah, you can apply for permanent residency whilst you are in South Africa. How do you do that? You have to make sure that your credentials are assessed. When I say they are assessed, I mean in Canada. So what do you need? I spoke about what you need in another video. So go to it and look at it. They will need a certificate of good standing with the South African Pharmacy Council. They will need your transcript from your university. They will need your certificate from the graduation certificate, and just to assess your credentials. And for you to apply for PR finally, so you need that credential assessment. So most people use WES to assess their credentials. So for pharmacists in South Africa, in Canada, it's Pharmacy Examination Board of Canada. So I'll try and see if I can drop links for you in the chat box. God bless you. If you have any question or you want to ask me to do another video on another topic, let me know. Ciao.